But I think it all sort of goes back to if you want to go way back to the beginning, and for all of us it might be a little bit different, but we all probably share it. For me, the first matinees I ever saw as a little kid were maybe King Kong versus Godzilla, King Kong Escapes, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. And when I was that age, I didn't know from Japanese. I didn't know what Japan meant or where it was. I knew that these were movies that seemed to have been filmed on another planet.
Right.
That's a very interesting point.
They're like this kind of exotic, magical quality to these films.
Yeah.
As a kid, you didn't. I remember like one of the first things I saw. I remember seeing some Godzilla movies, but I saw Ultraman when it first aired in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I remember that first episode very vividly, and how the idea that these were Japanese people and the voices didn't quite match the lips didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
That actually
that
enhanced
It
the
made
experience.
it, yeah. As you said, it's like something was beamed into my home from another planet.
And
the planet that loved everything that I love.
And it's like everything I was exposed to growing up. If it was like British television, then Britain was this other dimension, this other place that I would have to go visit because it was significant. L.A., so much stuff was produced in L.A., so someday I would visit L.A., and that would be the other place that was significant. But
that's what I still love about L.A., by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can watch an episode of The Rockford Files, and they're like, hey, there's Wilshire Boulevard, and
Yeah.
I'd only
It is
far
cool.
away. It's like,
Totally.
Yeah.
But Japan...
And as movie buffs as we are.
Yeah.
Right, but Japan was even further away. It was even more remote. It was even more mystical.
Exotic.
So
Absolutely.
visiting it, going to it repeatedly if you can, it really is magical. I mean, it's another planet practically, especially when you start appreciating the cleanliness, the safety, the work
courtesy.
ethic, the courtesy. There's so
food.
much. The food.
And as horror fans, I think it was probably the last night that we were there when we were going out to dinner for your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had this friend there who took you to this great restaurant.
In Akihabara.
Yeah, this amazing restaurant. And it really did sort of marry great food and horror at the same time.
It did, Matt, in a couple different ways.
Yeah, because it was the
What were you
first
gonna
time
say?
I'd ever seen someone get a plate of sushi where the fish was still twitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a whole with like the fish head. And
Yeah.
it was like this was like a fresh fish restaurant.
Yeah.
They were like
That was their
cooking
thing.
and killing the fish right
Well-
there.
Right
Nailed on
then.
a skewer.
And it was great. And you'd get this fish and it's still twitching, and they provided you with a tiny gun to shoot it in the head.
No, I don't remember
to
the
finally
gun.
put it out of its misery.
But what I do remember is the sushi was very fresh, but there was this one moment where behind the counter, one of the Japanese cooks starts... He takes this giant fish. It was massive.
Right.
And he holds it up and he starts saying, oh, yeah, and he starts talking. And I look over at Hiro and I go, Hiro, what is he saying? And Hiro looks at me and goes, oh, Larry, they say they just took him out of tank. And they're going to cut him up and serve it
was
to
still
anyone.
alive. The fish was still alive.
It's twitching in his hands.
And it was twitching. And I went, oh, my gosh. And are people going to do it? And Hiro goes, yes. I'm going to get 3 pieces for my wife and my dog. And then the guy puts the fish down, and I start to videotape.
And you
this.
hear a thump.
I do. And then you see the guy's little knife go down. And then all of a sudden, I go, so Hiro, are you guys going to get fish? Oh, we get 3 pieces. And I'm like, oh, okay. He says, 2 for my wife, 1 for my daughter. They bring over this fresh fish slabs, okay? And they put it right in front, and they give 1 to Hiro's daughter, 1 to his wife, and there's a 3rd piece. And Hiro looks at me and goes, Larry, you tried the fish. And I went, oh, no. He goes, no, you tried the fish. It's still warm. Like, I don't know about you guys. I like my sushi cold. I like it with wasabi, and I like it with soy sauce. But I am not going to insult anyone by saying no.
When you're there, when you're in
when in
Rome.
Rome.
And the wasabi and soy sauce would have been a faux pas in this
Yes.
case because you had to taste it fresh.
Yes, I had to taste it
right.
so I said, okay, bring me the fresh fish. And so I took it, and I ate it, and it tasted like fish.
I was wasted on you. I would have gone crazy with that.
I know you would have. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But,
I should have.
again, just
savored
another
every second.
But it was a great little
another
moment.
unique
But
moment.
speaking of my birthday, I'm going to get a little mushy here, guys.
Oh,
because
here it comes.
I don't
Beat me to
know.
it.
I don't know if anybody looks forward to turning 50, and I really was not. I've never made
I
a
loved
habit
it.
of. Well, I never made a habit of celebrating my birthday. But I thought, okay, if there's any one place that I want to do it my way, it's going to be in Japan with my friends. And you guys you made the trip with me. We made it together, and I'm really, really grateful. Because for that one day when I normally would have been as miserable as I could be, I was as happy as I could be.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank
Well,
you, guys.
Here's to you, buddy. That was great. Love you guys. Love you too. That was it was fun. I'm glad we got to do that.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean,
And I enjoy my 51st birthday.
Hey, old timer. And yeah, I agree. That was one of the things that really got me about that trip is that we had never done anything like this before. We'd spend a few days.
It really was quite a
undertaking.
Yeah. I mean, to organize it all, a real monster party pilgrimage to Japan.
And to assume that we were going to get along as well as we did. I mean, I would say 99% of the time we were all on the same page.
But this is also not the trip. I mean, part of the reason it's challenging is not the trip where you can just lay back by the pool and just chill and get
very
cocktails.
active.
This is very active. You got to figure out where the trains are going to take
Lots of leg
you.
work.
I mean, it's challenging every day, but the rewards far, far outweigh the challenges.
And much like what spawned this show, Comic-Con, where we would get together in our rooms and we would hang out and we'd talk and laugh and argue about the ridiculous things that we love. Mm-hmm. That's what this trip was for me.
Yeah.
Totally.
There are a lot of great times that I had. Take away the places we went when we'd get back to the room.
Oh yeah,
and we'd sit in your room and we'd watch the Space Giants.
Which that was the kind of theme for the whole thing for me. I absolutely loved it.
You had Space Giants on from the plane ride all the way until
the
end.
It was great. But what I'm trying to say is that those times we're all hanging together. You never know. When I would go on dates sometimes, or early in a relationship, the road trip would always be the deciding factor of whether this was going to work. The fact that we all went on this trip and had a really great time and that we're still friends and all that. I mean, I'm just going to say it. I love you guys.
It's mutual.
That's great.
It's mutual.
And for our listeners, too, I mean, if you have not been to Japan, and if you're listening to Monster Party, you're a bit of a nerd, and it is like a haven for a nerd.
But there may be people out there who are not nerds, Sean, that listen to this podcast.
And there's plenty of culture for that, too.
There is. But if you do, I mean, Japan is an amazing place, but do your research. Try to look
bring James with you as a guide.
If you can.
Actually,
if you
know
get
what?
time.
I'd be happy to help you with your research. If you're entertaining a trip, please reach out. By the way, we are on Twitter at Monster Party HQ. You can find us on Facebook at Monster Party TV and YouTube at Monster Party TV. Please check us out later on. We'll be posting some quite a few probably
pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff.
Our trip.
Awesome.
You are going to be tortured and inundated with lots of great footage from
Quite
Japan.
honestly, I think they'll be quite entertained because it was an amazing trip. We got some amazing footage.
Yes, we did. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Sean Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
Go to Japan.
Kampai!
That was my Godzilla impression.